to you, President of the International Criminal Court, the Honorable Judge Silvia Fernandez de Gurmadi. To you, current prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, the Honorable Fatou Bensouda. By the way, Fatou Bensouda replaced, as I understand, Luis Moreno Ocampo, the Argentinian.
I know about that.
And you know, I was in October of 2009. You can search that on the record at the International Criminal Court. And I remember, it must be on the record because I have two officials from the Office of the Prosecutor taking notes about that. On that occasion, I denounced things and crimes that were totally misunderstood, that people could not just believe that this is real. It's 270,000 people killed violently. All the statistics of United Nations, the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, all the statistics of that we have brought these issues to the office of the President of the European Union. All the statistics that have been brought in different, because this is the issue here. There have been attempts to bring complaints that have not even produced a simple investigation. Mr. Diego Arria brought a track of evidence that just simply end when Chavez died. And this is the other thing, you know. Chavez officially died March the 5th, and there is no honorable members of the International Criminal Court, there is no death certificate of Chavez. So for the purposes of practical legal proceedings, Chavez is not dead because they have not produced. There is a corpse that we fully understand that is not Chavez. And so we today, we want to ask these issues. We want to go there and say, well, one of the things we need to ask is for you, honorable members of the International Criminal Court, to ask Fidel Castro and Raúl Castro, where is the body of Mr. Chavez? And we probably will also extend this question to Mr. Putin. Mr. Putin, did you give any of your Polonium 210 that you gave to that guy in London by the name of Alexander Litvinenko? Did you give part of that? Did you make that favor to Mr. Chavez? Because the symptomatology of Chavez when he cursed the state of Israel, because Chavez was enemy of the people of Israel, and he acted as the greatest traitor to Venezuela. We want to address these issues one by one. Among other things, that Mr. Chavez was actively involved in drug trafficking. And because there was no accountability whatsoever.
Criminality.
Yes, and now there is this man that produced this book in Washington, D.C. And the book is called Boomerang Chavez. And he described in detail when Chavez, in the farm of Mr. Chacin in the south of Venezuela, used to go and deal directly with FARC, Reyes. And there is a record that is in London, is a record that is in the US regarding Mr. Reyes, who was killed by the intelligence of the United States. I believe that Israel was partially involved, I don't know. But they got the computers. And when they got the computers, they got this avalanche of evidence, and nothing has happened. Why? The president of Venezuela that made an oath under the Constitution to make the, to honor the laws of the Constitution of Venezuela and to honor subsequently the international covenants. And he was a drug trafficker. He was a criminal, and he did things like getting together with the Cubans and just write off $5,000 million that the parasites Cubans didn't pay to us. There are many issues that we need to address. Now, we are fully conscious that neither the violation of the Constitution, and we have a magistrate that called my attention in that same memo that we wrote to the OTP and said, be careful, because violations of the constitutions are nothing for the International Criminal Court. Be careful, because the pattern of electoral fraud in Venezuela has nothing to do with the framework, with the protocol of the International Criminal Court. And we understand that. But we also understand that the very reason why many presidents came to Venezuela, even the former president of Brazil, and used to come to Venezuela and tell us, he told us on our face, you presidents of Latin America, you parliaments of Latin America and parliaments of the world, you have seen the suffering of my people. You have seen the crimes against the Venezuelan nation, and you have been indifferent. You, government of the United States, I am talking to Democrats and I am talking to Republicans that know very much, even more than we know, because they have interrogated the criminals and they have sealed the records and they declare these criminals under protected status.
Talk to us about the chronology of your activities.
Yes, as you know, some people might think, what is this man with the situation in Venezuela being able to do here? You and me know that it has taken a lot of personal sacrifice, a lot of my own finances to be able to survive here, and the solidarity of people like Ben Carson and the King of King Ministries. On behalf of the Venezuelan nation, in this state of the International Criminal Court, we want to manifest the deepest sentiments of our gratitude for your support, for your financial support, for your moral support, for your prayers and your supplications, and a bunch of people that are behind these cameras that are supporting us. One is from Crimea, Ukraine, that is suffering persecution. She doesn't want to be interviewed now, but we brought her with tears because her father was killed. Her family was kicked up from their home, and now they are from country to country, and they are applying for political protections here, political persecution. And in Damascus, without even asking the Venezuelan nation, these trips that were literally daily, Caracas, Damascus, Tehran, brought, you know, resources that are needed by the Venezuelan nation. And the purpose of this was to support the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, to support the Al-Quds, to support Al-Qaeda, to support Hamas, to support Hezbollah. And this difference between Sunnites and Shiites, it was of no relevance to them, because the objective of the Castro narco regime, led by the evil hypocrites Fidel and Raúl Castro, was to attack Israel, to do warfare of Israel, and to use the resources of the Venezuelan nation to support terrorism. They supported them diplomatically. They were running. The government of Canada have found, you know, diplomatic passports. I mean, of people that were not born in Venezuela and were not. I am a Venezuelan, and contrary to what the president of Venezuela, you know, can show, I can show my birth certificate. I am a Venezuelan citizen. And this Maduro is a criminal that needs to be brought to justice because he's not a Venezuelan. He usurpated the functions of candidate to the president because he was not supposed to be simultaneously vice president, because Chavez, before he was killed and executed by the Cubans, you know, appointed him as a marionette of the Castros. But most importantly, this regime in Venezuela has designed a very evil, very bright but very evil. I have shown this at the very office of the President of the European Parliament. I have sent records of this to the President of Austria, and in the other tapings that we did. You can search that in YouTube if you write "enough space is enough space number one, just the one space Jose Mendez." I have a photo of Maduro shooting from Puente Llaguno on April 11, 2002. I have a photo. We have the president of Venezuela shooting at people, and then they throw to that jail Ivan Simonovich, who was the head of the police of Venezuela. He was on a 2x2 jail, incarcerated for no reason, no evidence whatsoever, and he has produced a book called The Prisionero Rojo, the Red Prisoner. But in addition to that, there are commissars that are innocent, and they are more than 12 years in prison paying for the crimes that the narco-Castro regime has executed.